Hey everybody, welcome to the hangar deck. Again, this is the third update on the Eduard F4F Wildcat. Unfortunately, I had to cut my other update off short because I cut my hand. And anyway, you know, when you're when you're bleeding, sometimes it cuts the video short, no pun intended. Anyway, this is what I've gotten done on the Eduard Wildcat. As you can see, it is done as an F4F KSU Wildcat, and went ahead and did the decals the other day. If you've never done decals, it's actually very simple. You just need to get water slide paper, and if you have a printer, most printers will do this. You can print right on the paper, and it's usually glossy. It's glossy. The only caveat is when you get ready to do this, if you're going to make your own decals, you need to make sure that if you have an inkjet printer, that you get inkjet paper. If you get regular laser jet or laser printer paper that uses toner, it's not going to work. I've tried it, and it doesn't work at all. So it's a two-step process as far as printing is concerned. You print your decals, and you'll use one of the glossy settings on your printer. Every printer's a little bit different. And you let those decals set for 10 or 15 minutes. Some people will have them set overnight, but I don't think that's entirely necessary. But you let them set for 10 or 15 minutes, and then you have to spray them with a lacquer coating of clear spray, because if you don't, as soon as your decals hit the water, they're going to come right off. So that's not what you're looking for. But once you spray that, and that has a chance to dry, my decals, I made them, and then there was a day or two before I used them, and there were no issues. You just have to cut really close around the edge of the decal. You have to remember the entire sheet's a decal, so you have to cut out the individual decals. So I don't know whether you can see, but there is a little bit of a border around that Wildcat or that Power Cat there, but you might not be able to see it. And I haven't put a clear coat over this yet. But as far as preparing the surface, I do the same thing I would for any decal. I gloss coat the surface. I did that on this top silver surface. On the bottom, I did not, because it is already a gloss coat paint, so I didn't really feel like it was necessary. And then while I'm on the subject, for the silver paint, you know, usually I use one of Vallejo's metallized colors for metal colored paint, or metal colored finish. That would be, sorry for the reach, that would be for like this Mustang. And it does a pretty nice job of making it look like metal. But for this Wildcat, I actually wanted silver paint. I wanted it to kind of look like silver paint. So what I wound up using is this Folk Art silver paint, and it comes out pretty thick. And so I put it in a cup, and then I added some Windex to it, thinned it out a little bit, and then a few drops of the Mr. Surfacer. Let's see, is it Mr. Surfacer? Let me see if I can get up here again without. Yeah, Mr. Color Leveling Thinner. Just a couple of drops. That's all it needs. Stir that up real good, and then I pour it into a bottle here. So I've got enough to do a couple of more Wildcats if I need to. Now, let's get back to the model itself. This is the Eduard F4F Wildcat, the Profi Pack. This is a fairly new tool, or a fairly new model. This thing is really nice. It's got a lot of good detail. It's got a lot of good photo etch detail. Photo etch is not my favorite thing to work with, but it worked out okay. As a friend of mine said, don't let it intimidate you. So I didn't, and but it's been really great. A lot of really great features. For instance, the ailerons, those are separate to the wing, so you have to glue those on separate. Same thing for the elevator and the rudder, and that made it really easy to paint this rudder because I could do it all with it off the airplane, and I didn't have to worry about, oh man, I already put the elevators on, now I'm gonna have to paint around it. No, it was all painted off the airplane, and that made it really nice. You have several different choices when you do this, as far as the era of Wildcat that you're going to do. You can do, let's see, which one is this one? This is VMF 221 from Midway Island, a Captain Carey. Or you could do Lieutenant Albert McCluskey from the Battle of Midway. Or you could do Captain Henry Elrod from VMF 211 Wake Island. Yeah. Or you could even do a couple of different training squadrons if you wanted. It's got the parts and the decals to do those. Or maybe you'd like to get really adventurous, and maybe you would like to buy this model and do the pre-war colors. Those are beautiful. I highly recommend that if you've never done like an SVD or a Wildcat or something like that in pre-war colors, I highly recommend that you do that, because it's just, though it's a challenge. It'll challenge you. It'll challenge you, and it'll be something really great to look at when you get done. Those yellow wings, man, those are really great. And the ones that have the bright green or the red tail or the red cowling, man, those are just glorious models, really great. And they look great on your shelf when you get done. I know some people say they don't like to use yellow, but just take your time and you'll be okay. I've painted a lot of yellow and a lot of red and a lot of other colors and done just fine. So I'm nothing special. So anyway, all right, that's pretty much it. Check out the Eduard F104. Good Lord. Check out the Eduard F4F Wildcat at your next trip to your hobby shop, or when you're surfing online, and consider getting it. I think you would be very happy with it. And I don't get endorsed by Eduard or anything, although if they would like to, that would be okay. But anyway, that's it. Sorry for the abbreviated update last time. This one's a little bit longer, a little bit more in depth, and hopefully the next update you see will be this this F4F Wildcat finished before I send it off to the guy that ordered it. Okay, we'll see you next time. Take care, and as you exit the hangar deck, make sure that you stay aware of the prop arcs, the prop wash, the jet intakes, and the jet blast. Keep your head on a swivel and make it a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.